LIFT is a multi-donor fund. It's a pooled fund that started in 2009, so we're now coming up for our 10-year anniversary. We have evolved and expanded. We now work through our partners and programs in 75% of the country's townships, reaching and benefiting more than 11 million people. LIFT started as a recovery program in response to the cyclone in the Delta. Very rapidly, LIFT evolved into longer-term development programs to benefit the rural poor. Then, as Myanmar's economy transformed, LIFT also evolved and adapted to respond to that. As people moved out of the agricultural economy, as they have migrated into peri-urban areas, LIFT has evolved with that to improve people's chances and their livelihoods.
The objective of LIFT is to strengthen the resilience and the livelihoods of the poor and vulnerable groups in Myanmar, but especially in the conflict-affected areas. By doing this, LIFT helps Myanmar to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. No one is left behind in the development in this country. We have 3 livelihood strategies, which we call Stepping Up, Stepping Out, and Hanging In. With the Stepping Up strategy, we support families with economic potential to participate in markets and in value chains, for example, farmers using more crops and being able to selling the crops in the market. With the Stepping Out strategy, we support families who want to leave the agriculture sector and want to work in other industries and want to migrate, for example. With the Hanging In strategies, we support families who are most vulnerable, do not have the potential to step out or step up, and we support them with social protection activities and nutrition activities. The new strategy 2019-23 builds on the old strategy, and it has 6 major shifts. The main programs are agriculture markets and food systems, financial inclusion, nutrition, and decent work and labor mobility. The areas of interest LIFT will keep engaging in are gender, social protection, and land tenure issues. LIFT was very much focused on technical interventions, mainly in villages and in bigger towns, but now we are also working at policy level, so we use the technical interventions in the villages as evidence to influence policy at union level and at state level. The most significant shift is geographically. LIFT will extend further into conflict-affected areas and work more with the vulnerable people in these areas. The areas is Rakhine, as well as Kachin, Northern Chan, Kayin Kaya, and Tanintari areas. When LIFT started, we had a very narrow focus on agriculture and agriculture-related activities, providing inputs to the farmers. So we had many projects providing cattle, providing buffaloes, we provided seeds, we provided plows, we provided access to finance, but also we had many projects providing skill training.
No, I don't know. ကျွန်တော်ကနောင်တော်ကြီးကျေးရွာမှာနေထိုင်တဲ့စပါးဆိုင်တောင်သူတယောက်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်ဒီအရင်ကတော့စပါးပဲစိုက်တာပါအခုတော့ဒီငါအနေ live နဲ့ live အလှူရှင်တွေရဲ့ပံ့ပိုးမှုနဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ခုနေ energy နဲ့ပူးပေါင်းပြီးတော့ငါးမွေးတောင်သူအဖြစ်ဟိုငါးမွေးကန်လေးတကန်ပိုင်ဆိုင်နေပါပြီအရင်ကတော့ကျွန်တော်ခုနေစပါးဆိုင်တောင်သူတက်ပါအခုတော့ဒီငါးမွေးတာ3နှစ်ရှိပါပြီအကျိုးမြတ်တွေလည်းရရှိပါတယ်
In Myanmar, 1 in 3 children are stunted, which means they are short for their age. It's a consequence of chronic malnutrition, particularly in the first 1,000 days. For the next 5 years, LIFT intends to have a very intentional focus on nutrition, both directly and as cross-cutting across all our other programs. All of our programs and partners will have deliberate intention to support inclusion and social cohesion, working with the most vulnerable, people with disabilities, women-headed households, the landless, the rural poor. Gender mainstreaming has been an important part of our programming, ensuring that men and women benefit differently but benefit equally from LIFT's programs. However, going forward, we will have a much more deliberate focus on gender equality and women's empowerment. Myanmar is a country on the move with 1 in 4 people migrating compared to an international average of 1 in 7. This has been happening for some years in Myanmar and it is now only accelerating. LIFT's migration program was born out of that fact, that large numbers of migrants were moving from the Delta into peri-urban Yangon. Particularly women, they arrive, they're highly vulnerable, they're vulnerable to trafficking and exploitation, they're seeking employment, and many of them end up in the garment factories in Yangon. This is a fairly unskilled, low-paid sector. So LIFT has been working for the last few years with our partners, provide skills training, provide a certificate for that, and thus enable them to earn more from their work in the factory.
အောင်မြင်မှုစီမံချက်လေးရဆိုရင်သူတို့ကိုအသက်မွေးကြောင်းတင်တန်းတွေပေးနေတယ်ပြီးတော့နောက်တစ်ခုအနေနဲ့လိုအပ်တဲ့သတင်းအချက်လက်တွေနဲ့ပေါ့နော်တယောက်နဲ့ချိတ်ဆက်ပြီးတော့ခါကြသတင်းအချက်လက်တွေကိုပုံမရောက်ရှိအောင်အတွက်အကူအညီဆောင်ရွက်ပေးနေတာတွေရှိပါတယ်ပြီးတော့အောင်မြင်မှုအနေနဲ့တင်တန်းပေးတဲ့အပြင်ဒီတင်တန်းနဲ့ကိုက်ညီတဲ့ဒီပေါ့နော်ကျွမ်းကျင်မှုနဲ့အတူအလုပ်ခန္ဓာတွေမှာအလုပ်ကံရရှိအောင်လဲအကူအညီဆောင်ရွက်ပေးနေပါတယ်အခုဆိုရင်အောင်မြင်မှုကမွေးထုတ်ပေးလိုက်တဲ့တင်တန်းသူ69%ကအချက်ထုတ်ကဏ္ဍအသီးသီးမှာအလုပ်လုပ်ကိုင်နေရကိုတွေ့ရပြီးတော့ခါကြတော့64%ဆိုရင်ပုံမကောင်းမွန်တဲ့ဝင်ငွေတွေရရှိနေရကိုသိရပါတယ်ဒါဟာဆိုရင်စီမံချက်ရဲ့အဓိကအောင်မြင်မှုတစ်ခုပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်
There are three main ways in which LIFT will work with civil society partners. With every call for proposals that LIFT launches, we will ensure that 20% of the funding is earmarked for programming through civil society organizations. The second is our strategic partnerships. We will invest in their core capacity so that they can continue long after LIFT has finished. And the third way in which we will contribute to civil society is our small grants facilities. These are fund facilities that make very small grants to very local organizations on a demand-driven basis. Through our partnerships, LIFT will continue to adapt and evolve, both thematically and geographically. LIFT will always be where the poor will be.